requesting a meeting to discuss the border crisis. As of today, I still have not received a response from him or anyone in his administration. But in that short time period of 2 weeks, the situation at the border has only worsened. The United States now has an unprecedented 13,000 migrant children in custody. At least one migrant facility hit 729% capacity, and the mass influx shows no signs of stopping. When I toured there, I went to the El Paso facility. It was built during the Trump administration. 98,000 square feet. They said they built it so large that they would never meet capacity. That day, that Monday, they did something they didn't think they could do. They surpassed capacity for the very first time. 1,040. And what that meant was 120 Border Patrol agents who were supposed to be protecting our borders got pulled off to be in that facility. Earlier this week, when I led a trip to the border with 12 of my Republican colleagues, what we witnessed confirmed that the situation is even worse than we anticipated. Now, this photo was taken 4 days ago on private land at the border. This is what a crisis looks like. This is what the president will not go see. This is what President Biden will not acknowledge. The migrant facilities are exceeding capacity and require additional manpower. The overflow is taking border security agents off the patrols and creating more security vulnerability for our country. 10% of the migrants in the facilities we toured are testing positive for COVID. And those are just those that are tested. They do not test them when they enter. While I was there, they announced they were moving 1,000 to Midland, Texas. 3,000 to the convention center in Dallas. More coming probably to your cities as well. Not only does this create a health risk for the agents, but has also sacrificed the efforts of our communities have made to stop the spread of this virus. Even more alarming, during our briefing, we're informed that the Border Patrol agents have caught suspected terrorists trying to enter our country. I thought that would make all members of Congress think we'd have to work on this subject. Instead, I've known several Democrats were quick to accuse me of lying on Twitter. One even serves on Intel. Turns out they should have taken that time to find out the true facts. 2 days ago, Axios confirmed that it's just in the past 5 months, Border Patrol agents have arrested at least 4 individuals who match the names on the FBI terrorist screening list. Even the president's own Homeland Security Secretary confirmed yesterday that the terrorists indeed have been trying to illegally cross the border. When I sat at Monument 3 discussing with the Border Patrol agents, I asked them, for which countries have you found people coming across? Yes, Mexico and Central America. But they talked of Turkey, Iran, China, Sri Lanka, and others. This should frighten every American family. Even one suspected terrorist who gets into our country is too great a risk for our country and our nation's security. We must do more to stop this historic flow of migrants trying to illegally enter our country. It begins by sending a very clear message, united message to the citizens of Mexico, Central America: do not make the dangerous journey to the United States to cross the border illegally. There are legal avenues to enter our country. Doing otherwise is a violation of our laws. Unfortunately, House Democrats are not interested in making any serious attempt to address this crisis. Today, they are voting on 2 bills that not only do nothing to address the problem, it ignores the problem, but will actually worsen the situation. During her press conference this morning, the Speaker, Pelosi, had a sign up that said, "Home is here." This is the wrong message at the wrong time. Homeland Security Secretary, we're saying, do not come, just do not come right now. But if you wonder when this all started, you could go back to the presidential debate, the very first presidential debate. What did Joe Biden say? He said illegal immigrants should immediately surge to the border. What did he think would happen when he said that? When I entered the facility, there were some families there. There was one from Honduras. Carlos Jimenez spoke to them, asked them how long the trek was, 22 days. Just read a quote from another family from Honduras, said why they made the trek, because they heard President Biden say they were welcome. They heard President Biden in a presidential campaign debate tell them illegal immigrants should immediately surge to the border. This president denies the right to even meet about it, travel to it, or acknowledge the crisis he created. Our border agents are overwhelmed, and they deserve the help of their federal government. I'm calling on to put politics aside. Let's work together for the security of our nation. That's why I sent the letter before I went to the border. As I sat at Monument 3, you look at the wall that was built in El Paso. It was supposed to be 150 miles. They built 133 miles, 17 short. I asked them, when did they stop? Midnight, January 20th. Has it created a problem? Yes, because it left the old barrier down and easy interest for others. I asked them what they have seen recently. More fentanyl than at any given time. More cartel movement in any given time. President Biden's own secretary says we're going to meet an all-time high, but still won't use the word crisis. The president's going to travel the nation. He's going to tout a $1.9 trillion bill, the single largest. In that bill is health care for illegals, another clear message to create a bigger crisis along our border. Last week, Speaker Pelosi reappointed Eric Swalwell to the Intel Committee. Based on the briefings she and I received together, Swalwell should not serve on the Intel Committee. This isn't about politics. The Intel Committee is a committee not like others. Those in the majority are only appointed by one person, the Speaker. She has all the information that I have. Even if she did not have that information, I think a basic item that all members who get appointed to the Intel Committee should have. If you cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, you should not be appointed to the Intel Committee. Eric Swalwell, based upon everything in public that you know, cannot get a security clearance in the private sector. But only in Congress would he get appointed to learn all the secrets of America. That's wrong. She's got 200 other members who could serve on that committee. And I think the only criteria that someone would have to meet from the very beginning would be, can you have a security clearance in the private sector? If you can't meet that bar, you shouldn't be able to meet a bar